Hey everybody, welcome to Vacuum Wars and to my review of the Eyevac Home and Eyevac Pro stationary touchless vacuums. I put these two vacuums through all kinds of tests this week, and in this review I'll explain the differences between the Eyevac Home and professional models. I'll go through what's good about them both and what's not so good, and I'll try to figure out exactly who these vacuums are for. So links in the description, and let's get started. Stationary vacuums are stationary. You set them in one place in a room typically. You use a broom to sweep the debris up to the vacuum. Infrared sensors on the bottom of the vacuum detect the sweeping motion and automatically activate the vacuum for 7 seconds at a time. Though you can set either the Home or Pro models to activate only when you push a button. The Eyevac Pro or Professional is a little more expensive than the Home version, with the main differences being that the Pro version has a bigger motor and a bigger bin capacity. They come in different color options as well, depending on the model. The different size motor on the Pro was noticeable in the test. I measured an almost 30% higher airflow on the Pro version, as well as a nearly 20% higher suction power. But it should be noted that both models have a lot of power compared to a typical upright vacuum. For example, the Dyson Ball Animal 2 upright vacuum, which claims to have the most suction of any vacuum, I measured 88 CFM of airflow at the hose on the Dyson in my tests, which is less than the Eyevac Pro measured at its intake, and even the Home version isn't too far from this, so it's a lot of power either way. And while you can tell the difference between the two a little bit in terms of their pickup ability, I was really impressed with both models in terms of the amount of material they could pick up. The intake hole was big enough and the power was strong enough to easily clear everything I threw at them. Even large amounts of pet hair and human hair were not a problem. They also both did well with heavier debris like sand and cat litter, which can be difficult for standard upright vacuums to pick up. So as far as the most important thing, do they both work well? I think the answer is definitely yes. They're both bagless bins, which are reasonably easy to empty. The Eyevac Pro can hold about 14% more debris than the Home version, which I think is enough to see a real difference. Before I get to the negative stuff, I want to talk about who these stationary vacuums are for. They were originally designed for use in hair salons, and hair salons do still seem to be one of the main customers for these vacuums. But really, it's anyone that regularly sweeps large messes that occur in the same area with hard floors. So that could include people with pets that shed a lot, or next to a bird cage or a cat litter box. But yeah, hair salons are the perfect fit for these vacuums. After I was done with the test, I gave mine to the lady who cuts my hair. She said that she'd seen them advertised for hairdressers before and did want one, and she was really impressed with it.
Oh my goodness!
So what are the cons with these types of vacuums? The main problem I see is with the filtration system, which is virtually the same on both models. The filters themselves are fine. Eyevac says it's a high efficiency filter, and for my tests, they just were so-so in that way. But people in the reviews say that it's critical to clean the filters regularly, which you can do by either picking out the debris and then washing and drying the filters, or by vacuuming them with another vacuum. So it's not that easy. But it is really important to do because number one, it will clog if you don't, so it won't be as effective. But number two, I think the poor design actually causes hair to get sucked into the motor, and while that won't immediately ruin your vacuum, over about a year or so, people report these vacuums needing to be replaced. So basically, really try to keep those filters clean for the longest possible use of your vacuum. It's loud when it runs, but no louder than a normal vacuum and only for 7 seconds at a time. So I think the Eyevac system genuinely solves a very specific problem, and I can see why it's so highly rated. I do prefer the Pro version over the Home version because there is a noticeable upgrade in power with the Pro version, but both were incredibly good at what they do. But it requires a commitment to keeping the filters clean on a regular basis, and even then I think 2 years of regular use might be the max you could get out of it. I still think it's a game changer for the people that need it, like hairdressers and others who sweep lots of hair regularly. Links in the description, and be sure to subscribe to Vacuum Wars before you leave. Thanks for watching.